Welcome to Boss Up. Get ready to elevate your game with your dynamic hosts. First up, we have the visionary powerhouse, Dan D. Johnson, who's a failure transformation expert and a financial literacy and business coach with a wealth of knowledge to help you scale and grow. And joining him is the inspiring and charismatic Shada Amour, your corporate expert and life coach, ready to share insights on leveling up your life and relationships. Together, they'll guide you on a journey to unleash your potential and boss up. Now, welcome Shada Amour and Dan D. Johnson.
You know what? No. No. No.
I was in the groove. That's my jam. Can we do that one more time? Let's play it one more time. I was feeling it.
This is not about grooving today. That's not what we doing.
A boss up is always about grooving.
We're not grooving today. We got work to do.
See, listen, y'all see the different contrast. You got one boss chick that's all about, no, we got work to do. And then she get pretty and drink her tea. We got work to do. I'm going to drink my tea. And then you got me, bossed up, always grooving, ready to get it down, ready to get cracking, hat to the back, because I can. I'm fun. She for real. I'm for real, and she not fun.
Really? I cannot. Okay.
I asked you to play the music. We was dancing. Hey.
Okay. Yes. This is not grooving, dancing music. That's not what this is. That's not why we here.
This boss up.
We got work to do.
Now we got work to do, but we need to be able to dance. There's some stuff going on in America.
It is some stuff going on.
I
don't know if we ready to talk about this.
What?
It has been a January. Like, it's February, but it feels like a year has gone by.
Listen, this thing, y'all, boy, I told y'all he wasn't playing with y'all. This is why we do Boss Up. We trying to get people ready so that they can be independent, self-sufficient, and be able to take ownership of their own ship. Because if you wait on the government to give you any ship, you have no ship. You understand what I'm saying? That ship is selling. I'm trying to tell you, this man, we ain't gonna have no education. We ain't got nothing. All we gonna have is ice. That's what we got. That's what we got. I'm trying to tell you, 47 not playing with y'all. That's why we gotta boss up. I'm telling you, he ain't playing.
We gotta boss up. So who are you? Let's tell the people, like, they don't even know, like, who are we? Who is on their screen? Like, who are they hanging out with right now?
Listen, the people that's watching right now, I just want you to know something, that I'm hanging out with Miss Amour. And Miss Amour is absolutely, she's that boss level chick. I'm trying to tell you, she make the other side, them other folk call her name. They pay her big checks. I'm trying to tell you, because she helped them boss up. And look, when you at the certain level where you can't quit a job because they don't want to let you go, so they create positions and give you money, and every time you go and say you leave, they give you more money. That's because she is a boss chick. And what she's doing is she's empowering women. Because, I asked, I said, why you never empowered a man? She says, because I got a man. I'm here to empower women. I'm talking to the women. And so I said, hey, excuse me. Then I saw a husband, that dude like this. He like real tall. Y'all can't see my arm. That's why they call him XL, baby. XL. I don't need to talk little men when I got XL. That's what she said.
Okay. You're telling too much. You're talking too much.
I'm trying to tell the people who they hanging out with so they'll know. Listen, this girl is smart. She got book sense. She got almost common sense. She got business sense. She is financially free and independent, and she is a boss chick. And our goal is to help you to boss up. I'm just the guy to give a little bit of advice based on what she tell me in the microphone in my ear.
That is not at all. CEO of multiple companies. An amazing real estate company. He's working on another business right now. I don't think we can talk about it yet. I don't think
We'll
all
talk
the
about it yet.
we're not. He has a non-for-profit, which I'm on the board for, which we have exciting times there as well. But I think like both of us really want to help people, women and men, since he always say I'm for the women, because hey, I'm for the women. Okay. I'm sorry. Like we got to boss up too. Men have been bossing up a lot in the history. And so it's time for women to boss up too. So yes, I'm representing the women. Nothing against men. I celebrate all of our men, want them to boss up as well. And that's why you get both of us, because every week we come to you and we are meeting with people to help them boss up, which actually we need some men to come on this show. We only help women so far. We need some, come on, where you at? Where you at?
And listen, fellas, and we silly, and that's because it's my fault. If I can't have fun, I'm not gonna do it. But we're very serious about this business. We're very serious about helping you to live a better life. We're very serious about helping you solve. Sometimes you just need a little wisdom. You just need a little strategy to help change the trajectory of your life and the trajectory of your business. And so we believe that with our combined experience, from a corporate perspective, educational perspective, a straight street perspective of building businesses and scaling businesses 6, 7 figures, that we can help you do the same. We just believe it, and that's our mission. That's our mandate. That's not a money grab, but this is a grab to help you get some money. And with all sincerity, when we look at what's happening in our nation or what have you, for some of us, what's happening, to be honest, from an economic perspective, it's good for us. But then for the masses, what do you do when what you was dependent on is being taken away from you? You learn how to depend on yourself. You learn how to become self-sufficient. You learn how to take that vision, take that dream, take that idea that you've been pregnant with all this time, and we come as your midwives to help you give birth to purpose, to help
Yes.
to that which that you've been carrying. And I'm telling you this, some of you may say, well, I tried before and it failed. Some of you may say that, you know what, I pushed before I could even get the baby out, it died. Some of you gave up too soon. But I'm telling you, as your midwife, as one of your midwives, this is what's going to happen. This time the baby won't die. This time you won't abort it. This time you won't give up on it. This time you're going to give birth to what's on the inside of you. And we're going to be here to help you push. And so tonight and every week when we come on Boss Up, we identify somebody that we're going to help push. And so we got a very, very special guest.
We have a special guest, but I just want to say, like, well, this is, I guess, someone who I actually did push. So, but anyway, I
You
think like
even
what you just said really reminds me of the story of Joseph, in that, like, God has placed in everyone, like you talked about, like something that we need to birth. And sometimes you can run into things that makes you feel like you want to give up or it's not going to happen for you. But that God is using all of those things to get you to the right place so that you can birth that vision, so that that vision will impact many. And so I am excited that we have this special guest who I already see her impacting many. And I'm not only saying it because it's my baby, but I am excited.
He's my baby.
Okay.
He was her baby when she was
that
nursing.
Loves her godfather
But
and who loves her mama. Excited to bring to our Boss Up stage
our boss.
Our boss, Vegan Bites by Jazz. What's up, baby?
Hello.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm so glad to hang out with you. What is that? Looking at you like that. What is happening? What is happening? Okay.
That's my baby. I just
Damn.
love. I'm so proud of her. I just look at her and I'm in awe.
I'm proud of her
Thank
too.
you.
She's doing some amazing things, and yeah, I can't wait for her to share some of that so we get to hear about your business. And you also have a nonprofit that you're like working on and all of that. So what do you want to tell us about? Like, do we want to focus on your business? You want to focus on your nonprofit? Like, how can we help you boss up? What areas do you want to focus
I mean, I think for me, everything floats together. Like I know my gifting is education and empowerment, and so all the things that I do flow through that, and it kind of overlaps, which is good for me because then everything flows together. So I think, yeah, as we talk, I might say something that's pertaining to one entity, but
on? Okay.
it's all gonna flow.
And so check this out, y'all. Just so you'll know, just because we are intimately acquainted with who she is very much so her own boss. And so she doesn't come to the table where there's a premeditation of what she's going to ask. We know nothing about some of the intricate details.
Right.
She involves us sometime, but she is that chick that, I got it. So I'm just happy that she agreed to come on Boss Up for us to give her a little
Yeah.
bit of folk advice because she got it. So I just wanted to throw that out. I don't know what she's about to talk about. She's multifaceted. So I just wanted to make that disclaimer so they wouldn't think this is stage. We don't stage nothing on Boss Up. It's all
No.
real, all organic. It's all coming live to you. We hearing it as you hearing it. All right. Back to
All
you.
right. So tell us about your business and then what are your goals for this year, 2025?
So my businesses are all rooted in health and education. So I have a vegan food business, which I have transitioned to solely doing grab and go products and stocking stores. And so my goal for that business this year is to focus on continue to um, having partnerships with health focused stores and stocking their stores with my food. I've moved away from catering. I don't want to do that anymore. And events only if it's worth it financially, because I've learned through going through the business that food businesses, is very expensive. And then when you're vegan and organic, it gets more expensive. And sometimes
Right.
when you're doing meal by meal, like people can't afford what you're offering. And so I've just moved into just cutting down some of that time and just doing products to stock that somebody else is selling, and then I get paid from that. And then my other business is rooted in youth workforce development and education. So I have a lot of different partnerships and tracks with that, helping young people in culinary, also helping them in um, growing in agriculture and business and entrepreneurship. So that's another track. And that one I'm focusing on sustainability and having outside sources have funding that's outside of just like the partner
Excuse
that's
me one
paying.
second, God, baby. Hey, listen. Unless that's God, you put that phone on silent. You don't let that phone buzz. And let's disrespect. We got a guest.
Whose phone is buzzing? My phone didn't buzz.
Somebody's phone is beeping. It's beeping, and you're looking down. You ain't even looking at eyes. How you gonna help her? You ain't hearing what you
Well,
talking.
because what I was trying to do was tag people in our post. Okay.
I thought we had AI for that. I thought AI was.
You stay and where you are. Okay. I was doing our at followers so that we can let people know that we're on.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
amen. No problem. You was doing a great job.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So youth
Go ahead.
workforce development. That's my other business. Um, so we do culinary business, agriculture, And then lastly, I am working on a development project that will be a house for some of these education programs for youth, as well as a place for food entrepreneurs to grow and develop and sell as well.
Wow.
Wow. That's a lot.
That sounds like she got a goddaddy oil. That's how we roll out here. We don't
Like
just
do it everything at
one
once.
time because we can do it.
Okay. All right. Got
We
it.
can do it.
Okay. So it's like one part is the vegan food that you're selling in the grocery stores, right? And then the second part is career, all of that development for students. And then you're working on a building where you'll be able to house some of these educational programs and stuff like that. But right now you're working inside of schools with this career program. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, work inside of schools with that, and then as well as for the vegan bites, it's working outside of a kitchen and stocking other people's stores. And for the building project, I want to say that I have partners that is working alongside me and doing that.
So
yeah.
So if you
thank God for partners first. This is thanking up for partners. Okay.
So they the right.
So grateful for them.
Just make sure they the right partners, because you can have partners and you got a part.
No, they're good partners. You have good partners, so
yeah,
they're good. Okay, so what are your goals for this year? Like, what are your goals?
So my main goal is that I want to hit my first $1 million year.
Oh, that's you got big goals, huh?
I got God goals. I got God goals.
Oh, that girl. Wait a minute. Let the record reflect. You about tell the people how old you are.
29.
That girl, 29. She about to drop 7 figures as a colored chick, and she about to drop it this year. In the next 10 months, 11 months, this 29-year-old is about to be a 7-figure chick. She is going to do it. You want to know why she's going to do it? Because she's
going to do it.
She gonna boss up. And this is what we do. That ain't hard. This is what we do. We show folks how to do it, how to get it done. You understand? And that's what we're about to do. Come on, I'm getting excited. Hurry up with your part so we could get into getting the this together.
So here we go. What would you say is getting in the way of that? What would you say?
I would say, as far as the youth development and the project would be funding and finding the correct funding sources. But then also just an overall, before recently this week, I actually put like numbers to it. So before it was not having numbers to it. But this week I know that I have to make $19,230 a week to be at $1 million.
Okay.
And y'all notice she didn't flinch.
I love it. Okay.
Indicator you got boss status. When you start saying I need to make $19,000 a week. Okay, now how we gonna get there?
How we gonna get there? All right. So let's talk about it.
All right. Well, I got one question for you.
What is your question? What is the question?
My God, baby, I got one question. I got one question for you. Are you ready to boss up?
I'm ready to boss up.
Oh, come on now. It's time to boss up. Time to boss up. So here's what we're going to do. The way that you got an elephant in the room, you've got an elephant that's on your plate. And I read somewhere that the way that you eat an elephant is one bite at a time. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at how we're going to bite this elephant, right? You got 3 economic streams. One stream is going to be that has the potential to give you immediate cash. What is that stream? That stream is your vegan bites that we will grab and go and put into stores. Then you have another stream that's really based on strategic relationships that can give you cash. It's a little more work, right? But and it probably will give you bigger cash. What is that? That is your That is your services that you provide within the schools. And then the last one is your, which is a major undertaking. It's the project where you're going to create the necessarily housing and the infrastructure. So the way that I would look at this is you have an immediate goals, you have midterm goals and your long-term goals. So now let's start with creating the formula. We're going to create the formula for how
The
to
formula.
out
Okay.
the formula. Every time I sit across, I tell people all the time, and I say it and I guarantee it. If you have a call with me, I guarantee you I can help you to figure out your 7-figure formula. That's the first step, because if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So I was excited when you said, where I've already worked the numbers. But all you did was divided $1 million by 52 weeks and got 19,000 and some change. So now we got to work the real numbers. And when we work the real numbers, we're going to first start with the vegan bites. So here we go. Give me how many SKUs or how many line items does the vegan bites have?
So I did work numbers on like products. So I know that I have new products that I'm launching that God told me not to talk about yet. But I know I have to sell 200 of those a week.
And
Well,
what
250 of those a week.
and how many and how much per unit?
$40 for that
So
one.
so your retail is $40 per unit, right?
Yeah, for those products. And
Now,
then I have a $100 one as well.
okay. Now, is this retail or is this wholesale?
Retail, online and in person.
So here's a question that I have for you. If I had a vegan store and I wanted to get your vegan bites and stuff in my store, are you saying that I have to pay you $40 per unit in order to get what you're selling into my store?
No.
Okay, so then it's not retail then, because that means if I'm going to buy from you, I'm buying wholesale. And
Isn't
then,
it on consignment though? Like you put it in the store and then so they don't have to pay anything for you to put it in the store. You put it in the store and it's like a consignment.
Yeah, that's the store that I'm selling at now. That's what I do.
so that's cool, but still they get a cut. So every time they sell one of those units, and they're selling those units at $40, correct?
Not in the store, no. So the
So
$40 will be what I sell through a website and through myself. In the store, that's a different item.
okay, so what I got to break down though is this. I'm trying to break down from what you sell direct and online. So that's $40. That comes directly to you. But in the store, what are you selling to the store?
So those items will cost $18 to $20.
So $18 to $20, is that to me as the store owner, or is that to the person that comes to my store and buy?
So the person comes to the store and buy. The store doesn't pay me. The person comes in and buys it, and then the store pays me what they
Exactly. I got you. Now, out of that, let's say $20 for even numbers. So out of the $20 that when a customer comes to my store, they give me $20 for your product. How much of that $20 do I give to you, and how much do I keep?
So at the $20, the store gets 15%.
So that's $3. Okay. So every time I sell a product, I get $3. All right. Now, and you get the other 17. Okay. So now the average store is holding how many pieces of how many units? How many units are they averaging?
Right now, so 10 per store and 30 altogether per week.
So it's 10 per store. So it's 3 stores right now. And so if it's 10 per store and they're giving you, so that's $170 every time you load them up, right? Now, how fast is your product going off of the shelf?
It usually takes 2 weeks until it's gone.
So it's 2 weeks. So basically every 2 weeks, each store give you $170. So basically, if you look at it like that, that's about $1,020 a month. But now you want to get to $1 million. So we got to, number one, we got to increase the amount of stores, right? We got to almost get to 100 stores that's going to do the same thing.
Well, isn't that only if you're doing that leg of the thing? Like, so if you're thinking about it too, with the 2 legs of like the work with schools. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, what I'm doing is,
as well as I'm launching the products that'll be so online. For those. So I have the $40 products that will be the online products that I have to sell 100 of each product, and it's 3.
So it's 100 of each product, and it's $40. And then, so that's 12 grand. How often are you selling that? A month?
A week.
A week. So that means every week you're selling 300 units. So we need to figure out your marketing strategy for that. Yeah. How are we going to market that where we're going to get 300 units? Do you have history of selling online already?
Not physical products.
So you have not ever sold. Do we have a database?
So yeah, I have a website, and I'm going to launch it as a pre-sale and then made to order.
Do we have a database
of customers?
Yes. How many customers are in your database?
I don't know.
All right, we got to figure that out, because here's what we need to do. And what I would start doing right now, since you already have a website, since you already have an existing database, since you already have some online presence, I will start getting people to join your database. We got a big offer that's coming. I got something exciting want to share, but I can only share with those that are part of our community. You know, why am I doing that? Because if you could get to 1,000 people within your database, 1,000 people in your database organically, you can turn that into 6 figures by itself. Just by constantly engaging them. That's number one. Number two, when we talk about, I want us to have manageable goals. So you're talking about something that you have to launch. First of all, it takes about 13 weeks to introduce a product and get the market familiar with your product, right? And to test what's going to work for that market to get them to respond. So I don't want us to say, hey, I want to do 19,000 every week. And it's going to take you an entire year to do that in order to get $1 million, when we need 13 weeks to really start pushing this brand out and getting brand awareness and doing brand marketing, right? So, and then the reason why I wanted to see what that number looked like for the stores, to see if we could scale with the stores. So, but so that means, how do we scale with the stores? You said it takes 2 weeks for them to get rid of 10 units. We got to figure out how we can go to those stores on a Saturday, put your little apron on, do it like they do in Sam's Club. And, you know, when people walking by, let them taste it. And girl, you could sell that in one day. So what you want to do, if they already letting you have your product in, ask them, can you come in and do a tasting one day? And you want to do that with each store. And then when they see, here we go now you're going to give a little bit, You're going to give a little bit, because part of it is I'm not going to push your product and get $3 if I can push this other product and get $5, or if I can push this other product and get 10. And those products are moving faster. Right now, they're giving it to you because you're cute. The product is good. You're young. They want to support you. But now we got to change the game. We want them to give you space because you a boss and you moving product out their door. You understand? So how do you go in and say, hey, listen, let me come in. Let me do 1 day of tasting. You sell 20 units that day to show them how your product can sell. Then you say, hey, I'll give you a better rate if you pre-order. You see, I sold 20 units today. Give me, for the first month, give me preferred positioning or whatever the case is, and I'll give you a larger percentage, 20%, 30%, and get them to get it instead of doing it on consignment for them to pre-order. The next thing is we only got 3 stores. I want us to be able to scale that. Mm-hmm. So I need us to set a goal. It's a modest goal. Let's set a goal to add 1 store per week. So now by the end of the 12 months, you may have 51 stores. Let's say 50 stores. Now you have 50 stores with 30 units. Those are 1,500 units. You see the difference? That's how you want to build this. So what I would say, by the time this is over, by the time we get to the 12th month, we have a formula in place that going into that 13th month is our trajectory for 7 figures. That's just on the food side. Now, let's put that aside. We know what we got to do for that. Number 1, we got to get these 3 stores that you have to allow you to do a 1-day tasting. Number 2, we're going to begin to establish a database of stores that we could target, and we want to add 1 store per week to our particular, to hold our product. Number 3, as we get ready to do our pre-launch, we want to start re-engaging our database, the database of those that are already organically connected to you. Because now you're going to give them a special discount on their pre-order.
Okay. So with this one, before we move to the next one, so 2 things. I have stores that I want to target already, but something that I have to do for these stores that I don't have to do for the stores that I work at, like have my stuff at right now, is I need to do nutritional facts. Because for the other stores that I'm at, I just have to do ingredients. I don't have to like put out the nutritional facts. So that's the reason why I haven't gone to other stores.
But ChatGPT can help you with that. Like ChatGPT or Claude AI, like
I don't know none of them people. They not as smart as they think they are.
They are. Hey,
y'all
can help you
ChatGPT. Poison people. Mess around.
You are not gonna poison them, but it will help you figure that out because it has enough data in it to kind of help you figure out that nutritional thing.
That is a true statement. And then you can get that done in about 10 minutes. All you got to do is let me tell you how to do it. Because ChatGPT is all about the data that you put in it. It's going to determine what it gives, what output. Me personally, I don't like using ChatGPT like that. Your mama keep trying to get me on to it. She a chat chick, boy. And then make people think smart. But me, I want to keep my brain working. But I will say this: if you was to utilize it, you'll utilize it in this way. You'll put your ingredients in it. You'll put the measurements, what the actual measurements and ingredients is in it. And then you will tell them to give you the nutrition facts based on this criteria. And then it will spit out to you what the nutritional facts are. And that can be done in 10 minutes. So we're not going to let that hold us back.
Yep, get that down.
Okay, and then just strategy for stores is just contacting the store. Is there anything special about it or no?
You're special. You call them, you sell you, hey, listen, I'm so-and-so. I have this a vegan-based product that some of my other stores have found to be great. They're seeing XYZ percentage of units being sold within a certain period of time. They have XYZ of repeat orders, repeat customers. And what I like to do is set up an opportunity to come and meet with you, allow you to taste the product, sample the product, and then work out a situation where my product is featured in your store. And then you could tell them we have an entire system where we do co-branding, co-marketing. We make certain that we drive people to your store. And of course, when they come to get my product, they're going to get something else off the shelf. And you want to make, I don't know how big that list can grow, how fast it can grow. You start where you are, where you can handshake, and then you spread out, right? But you want to, it's a numbers game. So I'm going to challenge you to find 100 stores. And all we want is 50. But I'm going to challenge you to go after and identify 100 stores that sells vegan products.
Okay, let's talk about the next one because we want to make sure we have enough time to help you do that. And it feels like I know that's something that you really want to focus on as a big part of your business. So let's focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, was that helpful for you?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That helpful. What?
Mm-hmm. That's how she is. How she's so focused. She about that business. Her mama be laughing, playing. She barely smile, but she talking about business. Don't play with me. Play with me. What's next? Let's talk.
Okay. The products, the online products. Do you want to talk about the online products or you want to talk about the school side first?
I think we talked about the online products for right now. She got to build up that database. That's a 13-week run. We got to create a marketing plan for it and then start teasing the market and getting it out there. That's what's going to happen with that. Then we're going to see how the market respond to figure out what adjustments we need to make. So we're just going to focus on teasing the market with what's to come. Now, as it pertains to the schools, first, tell us a little bit about exactly what you do. Don't give me the brochure version. Don't start using big words. I know who your mama is. Like your daddy in this case. Don't use the big words.
Okay. So it's workforce development. So we go into schools, or if it's a nonprofit or university, etc., that want to engage with youth or have maybe issues with certain demographics of youth. And we do workforce development with them, and they end with certifications in specific fields. So like we have a barber certification, culinary certification, all these things that are industry-based certifications that they can use as a career in a job as well as if they want to start their own business.
All right, so let me make sure I understand what you're doing. You partner with schools and non-for-profits. And I'm assuming these are high schools. And then you guys set aside a certain amount of time either during the school day, after school hours, or whatever the case, as a after school program, if you will. And you bring these young men and young women into a certification program. And you train them and develop them for them to get certified and be industry ready to go out and use those skills in the marketplace. Now, that's some good stuff. Now, here's the question. How much that stuff costs you? So if I'm a school and I wanted to bring you in, is it based on how many students you have? Is it just based on the school itself? What is it based on?
So per student, we
So it's
charge per student.
how much you charge per student?
Well, the schools always change the price because
What you want per student?
5,000.
So 5,000 for a student to go through the certification program. And you say you always change the price because the school make their determination based on discretionary funds. So if they have the funds, they invest. What is a sweet spot for? What have you found to be a sweet spot for the school per student?
Like 1,000.
Okay, $1,000 per student. And do you have a minimum student requirement?
30.
So 30. Okay, and how long is your program?
It's supposed to be 2 years, but we've run it out based on schools as well. So we can run it in a semester for specific parts of the certification, or a year long for certification. So the goal is 2 years. So then they get everything. But the shortest we've done it is a semester.
Okay, so let's look at where we are. We're living in some we're living in some times. And so as we look at the times by which we live, we gotta use wisdom, right? So for example, there's no need to have a price list that nobody's paying for. There's no need to have a program that is so long that nobody's coming to. So how do we maximize the impact and make it easier for a school administrator to say yes? So perhaps, and then we put that within the context of our goal. So let's say, how long is a semester?
18 weeks.
18 weeks, as I thought. So let's say we do it in tiers. So instead of going in saying, let's make a deal, let's have a semester program. Let's have a year program, an entire school year program, which is 39 weeks, by which you'll probably do 36 weeks out of that because of holidays and so forth. So you have your 18-week, your 32-week program. Now, let's suggest that because 30 students may be a lot for some schools, let's drop that to 15. But let's keep it at $1,500 per student. And now what we want to do is we want to measure the outcomes. As a result of this, each student should receive this, and this. So if you said 15 students at 1,500, let me do my quick math. That's 22,500. I think I'm right. Y'all check me out. I don't know. I did it like this. That's 22,500 for that 18-week. Maybe it's 2,500 for the 32-week per student, right? So that's extra 1,000. So now you're at 15,000. Now you're at 37,000. Now, how many schools can you handle at one time?
It's not really a limit.
Oh, you omnipresent. All right, Junior Jesus.
I have a staff.
Well, so as of today, how many staff persons does it take to run the school?
2.
2. So you got
2 can do 2 schools.
So 2 can do 2 schools. Okay.
Well, I think it's way more than that. It's because we can be right now. So say right now we have 5 schools, and we still have room for more. Because the way we do it is per day. So you can work at one school one day, another school one day, but you can work out at one school during the day and another school after school.
I got you. So how many days a week are you in the school for a program? Is it Monday, Wednesday?
1 day per school.
Per week?
Right. Per week, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, you can do it. You could do that thing. So what have you found has been the issue? Schools don't have no money.
They say they don't. And the sustainability of it. Like, so yeah, like if we're waiting for a school to agree to a contract to start the program and to get paid, then it's not financially sustainable.
Meaning you got to wait to get paid.
Right.
So here's one of the things we may have to do then. And Mr. Moore, I need you to help me out with this because you know you the boss chick in all things education. If the nation got rid of the education, the Department of Education, she could build her own Department of Education. She really could. So the question that I have for you is this. Is there a scenario where we pre-negotiate in the beginning for the following school year and you pay in advance?
I've tried it.
Well, you have to pay. You can only pay in that school year is what happens. Like the way schools' monies work, like you can pay for what's happening that school year. I honestly think it's going to be about, I mean, my suggestion would be you got to find, and I know you've looked at some of these, some grants, and you also got to find some businesses that will partner because that helps businesses will pay money on time and their money isn't as like held up with like, oh, okay, I have to pay during this time and then this is how our system rolls. It's like you need some business partners to be able to kind of put in some of the money first. And then that will help you like hold some money when the school pays whatever money to be able to bank that money to kind of hold over on different things that you need to do.
So maybe we could do this. Thank you so much. I knew that if you spoke, I would be inspired. Okay. And you spoke and I got inspiration.
I'm glad you could get inspiration from what I said.
I'm trying to tell you, it works like a charm. So consider this. Mr. Moore just talked about business partners. Well, what business would actually want to partner with you? A business that needs employees, a business that needs workers, a business that can, I know a couple of businesses where their businesses ran off high school teenagers. Mm-hmm. Right? They don't need the real highly qualified. They need them to have a certain skill set in a certain area. So if you got this business to partner with you, then you leverage that partnership with the school. It sounds like this. Hey, listen, I know we've been talking. I know you want the program. I've identified the partner based on your commitment. If you could commit to this, and this, then I have a partner that's going to subsidize. And not only are we going to do the business workforce development, but they're going to also come in and do some training. And we're going to work together and we're going to do some mentorship. So by the time that student finishes, they will not also have a job. So your portion is going to be this. The business portion is going to be this. And then you'll do it together. So now that motivates the school to say, oh, I could get this program and pay less.
All right.
Now, here's another way you could do it. You could, let's say the business say, I don't have no money, but I'll give you some time. Right? I don't have no money, but I'll give you some time. You put a dollar value to that time. You increase the value of what the program is. You reduce that value by the time that the business is going to offer. And then when you give the presentation to the school is normally you would pay $4,000. However, because of this partnership that we found as a business partner for your school is going to reduce your cost to $2,000 by 50%. Again, psychologically, they want the program. They're saving money. They got a business that's coming into school. A lot of schools, especially if it's men, because a lot of schools want to see men presence in their building.
That's true.
Is this making sense to you? So
yeah, I don't know if it's the best strategy.
Come on, talk back.
Because of what I've experienced. Like, so I feel like I need a strategy of, and the businesses right now, and not saying that there won't be more, and I can continue to seek out businesses that have funds, but the businesses right now that are teaching the students like don't have the funds to like subsidize the program. And so I
Right.
have with schools as far as like that's the program that we're doing right now with the partnership. The program costs 5,000 per student and they're paying less than that. And so I've showed them that like this is the break that you're getting and this is what the program actually costs. And so my businesses now are taking pay cuts of like what they would desire to be paid to teach the kids. So that we are doing that. But what I need is like more strategic advice on funding partners that can pay regularly for the program to happen. So grants, but
I think you said something different than what me and Miss Moore was saying. Because part of your business is to connect with businesses. Let's say me, I do construction. I go into the school, you pay me to go into the school to teach these classes because I do construction, right?
mm-hmm.
I'm saying that's not the business partner I'm talking about. And I don't think that was the business partner Miss Moore was talking about. We're saying go to a construction school. Let's say you go to a construction company that really can benefit from using them in some shape, form, or fashion. And I'm just throwing construction out. That construction company partners with you and the school. They say we're going to subsidize this program by $10,000. Here's what it does for the construction company. It's good for publicity, public awareness. We partner with schools. This room is sponsored by NRS Realty, right? For the school, now you marry that construction company to the school. And you can now, the construction company can send people on your behalf to teach certain portions of the class. And you're not paying them, they're paying you. Because it's a community partnership. And
but it has to be the right business, I think. Yep. Is one part of it. Is like there are some businesses who can't afford to do that. And then I think then you would ask them, like, can you give your time to teach as you're giving? Right. So that's what they're doing right now. And you need to find some businesses that have the money who can be like, okay, here's this amount of money I can give to this.
So it's more of going to a business that needs employees and offering the program to them and saying what we do and we can offer students if they can offer finance.
And it's not either or, it's both and.
Right, you could do both types of companies.
It's both strategies. And even of course the grants is and listen, here's the deal. Here's another challenge. I want you to identify and write for $500,000 worth of grants. Over the next, you wrote for $500,000?
Mm-hmm.
How much you did? You wrote for $500,000 or more than $500,000?
More.
See, this is what I'm telling y'all. I told y'all she was already a boss.
Yeah, and that's just this year though. So I still have to wait to hear back. But that was this month and last month.
Okay, so you already instituted that strategy. You're just waiting to see what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. What sound like?
I would also say here's another thing, and then we're gonna because we have helped you with a lot of strategies. Is maybe this business can't help you, but can you ask them for other businesses that might be able to help in that way? Because there are a lot of business people who maybe I can't help you. So you might be like, hey, I need Dream Her to give. And I'm like, girl, no, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. I can help teach something, blah, blah, blah. But then you could also ask me for do you have other people or other business, other connections, because one thing that does is it gets you in the door with some people that you might not get in the door with, that like, hey, Dan, you have construction. Are there other people who might give to something like this? And it gives you a couple of more business people that you could talk to.
I'm sorry, real quick. Are you you're non-for-profit, right?
Not these two businesses.
Well, I know the Vegan is not. The school business.
The school either. But I do, well, I don't have the status yet, but the building, it'll have a nonprofit operating in it for the education and the.
So
that might be the other thing.
Yeah, I would actually work a piece of this as a non-for-profit.
Most definitely, because businesses give to that because they have a certain amount of money that they need to be able to give. It's a tax break for them, and it's easier for them to give money to something that they're like, oh, it's a nonprofit, it's a tax break for me. Great, here you go.
I'm doing good in the hood. I'm helping the community, all of those things. But until then, what we'll do is this: we're going to put together this whole sponsorship type of package where you're going to get them to sponsor. And we're going to have, this is our sponsorship core, and you're going to have a partnership with the school that's going to send out information to the student through the students and all of that, saying thank you for our sponsors and our community partners for helping us to train our students and bring them. You see what I'm saying?
And I think like you could even in a sponsorship, what I like about that is you could even be like, hey, sponsor two students. Sponsor 3, like smaller people can do stuff like that. Would you sponsor 1 student? This is how much it costs.
And that's, what do you say, like just an idea for that, like looking for sponsors, like LinkedIn?
Well, no, you want community. So here's the deal. Let's identify where these schools are. And then let's look at the businesses that have a presence in the community.
In that community.
In that particular community. Let's look for the businesses where that community is supporting. Does that make sense? And these businesses does not necessarily have to be directly related to your certification program. It'd be good if it was related to it, but they don't necessarily have to be. And you got to come up with a sponsorship packet. Like so for example, Mr. Moore says you're going to sponsor 1 or 2 students. But then you could say we have a $10,000 flag sponsorship. Or your sponsorship, you're going to receive direct mail to, you're going to be inserted into the school bulletin, whatever that is. For this sponsorship, you're going to have a key position at our annual graduation. Because now when they're finishing the program, they're not just going to finish and get a certification. There's going to be a graduation ceremony. Which everybody, each kid, if it's 10 kids, 30 kids, each kid get 10 tickets. So 300 people in a room. And they're going to all receive something else with the sponsor's name on it. You're going to be listed on our website as one of our strategic partners. So now you're putting together something that's adding value and that can also show a return on the investment.
Right.
Is this making sense? Starting to feel all warm and fuzzy now.
You feel better? Does it sound well?
Listen, we let you go a little longer because you was like, well, I've been there, done it.
Okay, this one right here.
Was you didn't just come up, my God, that. But seriously, that's what you got to start looking at. And if you position yourself as a non-for-profit, you're going to get more community people to gather around, because our young people need to learn developmental skills. 6% You heard that word. 6% of those that graduate out of high school actually go on to college and graduate. So that means they need some type of skill set. So we won't give them, so they don't have to be subject to the black people jobs and going back into the field.
Yes.
I'm sorry, that was petty.
Okay. So it's getting late. I can tell it's getting late. You know how like your mama used to say, like, you know what? It's time to go to bed because
they can work jobs that's bigger than black people jobs.
Okay. So how are you feeling? Do you feel like you got what you needed to get started in multiple ways on your multiple business ventures? How do you feel?
Yes, I feel like I have practical steps.
All right.
No, well, now listen, we're gonna have to shake this tree a little bit because y'all can see she ain't playing. Yes, I feel like I have practical steps. She said, "You guys have given me something that I can actually use and go and execute." And
oh my goodness.
I love her. She is so wonderful. So here's the question. Now you've been showing them high cheeks, but everybody know you got an award-winning smile. I want to know. There it is. Come on, y'all. Do you feel like you've been bossed up tonight?
Yes.
Yeah. Bossed up. All
right. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. Big advice by Jazz.
Yep. And I'm so glad we went over time so we don't have to do this next week because this was like 2, All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We had such a great time with Jazz and learning all about her business. And we have so many people lined up. We have some people coming up who have a food truck. Man. We have someone who has a retreat business coming on. Wow.
Fellas, we need a couple of men because
these girls. It's getting hot in here. Man, that was tough. I started sweating. I said, wait a minute, she ain't budged. Her needle ain't moved yet. She's still right here. She's still like, no. That's a tough cookie, but she was raised that way. So thank God for God daddies and everything. But at any rate, this was good, girl. This was good.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
Hey, listen, we had to dig deep.
Dig deep. She had a lot. I don't know who her mama is. All right.
Yeah. So. Jesus Christ. But the thing is, here's what I would love to say to everybody as my closing thought for tonight. A lot of times, and we rolled with Jazz because that's what she's doing, and we know she gonna do what she gonna do. But one of the things that I would say to any of you, build your foundation first. What is your foundation business? What is that business that is operating? It's running like a well-oiled machine. The money is coming in. You've gotten where you need, you know what I'm saying? You got it settled. And then from there, you spring off and you begin to branch off and do multiple things. It definitely can get done, and Jazz is one that can do it. But it's a lot easier if you can channel all of your focus on one thing, on that one business, putting your energy into that so that business can grow. And you can put all of your efforts in it. Now, Jazz is an exception to many rules. And I believe that this is one of those rules she's exception to. I've watched her run these programs in the schools while at the same time acquire the building, while at the same time cook and cater and send food and drive up and down the highway delivering food. She's that type of chick. But she can do it. She's single. She don't got no kids and all that kind of stuff. She can make it happen. But I want us to always don't put so much pressure, because sometimes, now this is not her, but sometimes we get overwhelmed because we put so much on our plate and we don't have the capacity to consume it all. So we wind up losing our appetite. I don't want you to lose your appetite. So make certain that what you put on your plate is enough where you can consume it all, and that you don't waste it, and you decide you don't want it. All right. Well, hopefully, It's time to boss up, y'all. Listen, so we're thankful for my wonderful esteemed co-host who makes all of this make sense, because I don't be understanding none of it. And that is none other than Miss Amore.
Crazy.
Yeah. So next week, we're back. Right here.
I'll see you next week, right here.
Boss up.
And that wraps up another empowering episode of Boss Up. Join Dan D. Johnson and Shada Amore on the next episode of Boss Up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow Dan and Shada on all social media platforms for more insights and inspiration to boss up your life. Until next time, remember to keep shining, keep grinding, and always boss up.